if you just caught, if you were listening to Nerve DJs Network, you were listening to Wild Boys by none other than Machine Gun Kelly, MGK. We still love you, even though you lost that beef to Eminem. Just gonna leave that alone right about now. Just don't come at me, MGK. I'm just saying, things of that nature. So, but it's still doing big things for the city of Cleveland. Things of that nature. So, Lady T.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, we asked a couple of questions. We asked about you. Asked you about the people that doubted you as far as you running. Now the thing about it is that eventually, maybe by a Zoom conference or by social distancing, there will be a debate. There will be people coming out talking or wanting to talk about, asking platforms of you and everybody else. You will have established candidates. You will have your people like yourself who are, up and coming in the political game, and you have people who are dealing with that. Would you welcome a debate of that sort?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
To elaborate a little bit more about it, it's a learning experience. I'm always studying. I'm always, trying to, advance in what I'm trying to do. So, a debate, if the opportunity was ever to be brought up to where I have to do a debate, then sure, I'm ready.
Okay. So the thing about it is, what would be the first issues? Because there's the crime issues, there's the healthcare issue, and there's the employment and education issue, which always is a big issue, especially in the African American community. What is the first thing that you want brought up if a debate with other candidates in the city of Cleveland?
Crime and violence.
Crime and violence. Okay. And the reason you picked that is because?
We're losing too many lives out here in the streets. Too many loved ones are dying. And we don't know why. So that's a touching subject for me. So that's why crime and violence would be the first one.
Okay. Now, you're dealing with you're an African American woman, and there's been voter apathy, especially among African American men. Now, how will you convince the women will be like sisters, this queens and everything else like that? We'll help support you. It might be a difficult role, but they'll support you. African American men have known to sit out the elections. Actually, one of the lowest voter turnouts comes from African American men. How do you get the men, especially African American men, to participate in the voting process, particularly to vote for you?
Again, listening and walking up to them, introducing myself, asking them, what issues do they have? Because, they battle a lot too. What are their concerns? And trying to, let me know what your strategy is, and I'll let you know what my strategy is, and we can all come together. But, letting them know that in order to have a voice within change, you got to go down there to the polls.
Okay. So, because the thing that it ain't going to change nothing. I'm still broke. I'm still this. I'm still that. I'm still like, I got probation. I still got the child support.
Those are non-believers. I'm a big believer in faith. So if you want something to change, regardless if you broke, a real hustler know how, I'm going to be a little bit real right quick, Larry. A real hustler know how to go out there and get that money if their pockets is broke. They know how us as a people, especially us as a people, we know how to make something out of nothing. So I would look at that person, and suggest to them more other ways and strategies and more other talents that they have, so they can get out, so they can make money, so they can pay that child support.
Mm-hmm.
So they can have a better life and live a better life, giving them another way of opportunity.
Right. So everybody's going to bring up their level of education, their intangibles and things of that nature. What is something that you want to tell the audience? What do people want? What do you want people to know about Latorya Witcher?
I am here for you. We all got to come together to have one voice, be determined, stay fast and prayed up, because we're going to need it within this generation in these times. And that's my message to the people. Let's come together. Let's forget all the haters that really want to change and say they want it but really don't want it. Let's, us as soldiers in this fight, we all have to come together to make that dream come true that we actually want.
All right. So if you wasn't running for mayor, if you wasn't doing, you said you worked for a large reputable tax company. And by the way, if you filed your taxes, it takes like 3 weeks before you get
Like
it.
21
21
days after
days.
you file.
All right. All right. Please give them that advice. Could you repeat that for the people in the back that didn't hear you?
It is 21 days after the day that you filed. So if you filed early, you probably got your refund after Valentine's Day. But if you filed later on in February, don't expect it till mid-March.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. As she's a tax preparer, she knows she works with the eye to the works with the eye to the IRS, not the for, that place, and you have to file. So, what would you be doing if you wasn't doing BWE, if you wasn't part of BWE Entertainment, if you wasn't a tax preparer, if you wasn't running for mayor? What would you be doing? What would your dream job be?
What I'm doing right now. I'm creating it right now. I mean, I can't see myself doing anything else. I mean, I worked in every fast food restaurant, over the years when I was younger and, raising my 2 kids. And, I mean, I don't see, doing anything else. The God's gave me this vision. So, I mean, I'm going to run with it until he give me another direction.
Okay. So, personal. And you say your 2 children, and I'm, met them both. Wonderful people. Wonderful young adults, pretty much. Most of the mayoral candidates have families. Now, you have 2 children. There's no spouse. How would you combat somebody that asks you that particular personal question?
I don't combat. I just say that the God hasn't sent that right gentleman to me yet. And so, instead, I've always, was taught to listen and wait and be patient.
Okay. So, that's the reason why is because everybody wants to be like, hey, you got a wonderful family. I've seen this, even though Mayor Jackson's grandson is off the hook. But we're just gonna leave that. We're gonna let Frank Q live. We talk about your mayoral campaign. So the thing about it is, if you were given something, by somebody, as far as are you like a lot of campaign smearing goes on? We heard the worst of it in the presidential campaign, from one side, pretty much. But how would you avoid, mudslinging, campaign smearing, mudslinging, pretty much?
To be honest, like a lot of people, do know me for the good, but I feel as though the only reason why somebody would say anything bad about me is because they don't know me. And the first thing, rule of thumb, is that if you gonna criticize somebody or you're gonna slander their name, make sure you open up the book first and read it before you can pull out any false accusations.
Okay.
And make sure you got some proof, because I'm gonna have mine.
Right. So you got your signatures. You are officially on the ballot. When you got on the ballot, how did that make you feel?
I was surprised when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I just seen my name on there. I was surprised.
You were surprised?
Yes.
So what made you come to this decision just to run? Did you talk it over with other people? Because you got a team out there.
I did talk to my team. I went to my family and I said, hey, I was at the tax office. A little brief story. I was at the tax office one day. And I was sitting there, I was working on, Mr. McGee's campaign stuff. And like I said, the spirit just came to me. You want to make some change, Lady came in. Actually, older lady came in. She had a thing in her trachea. Mm-hmm. She said, "Don't be alarmed. I don't have COVID." I said, "Okay, come on in." And she was telling me her story about how she was, struggling with, can't go in the stores and about the mask requirements. And another lady came in and said something about remote learning. And I just took them as all signs. And I said, you know what? I'm doing what I'm doing now for both sides of the community or what may have you. Let me try it all the way abroad. And I asked the guys, like, I want to be able to run for mayor. You think I should run for mayor? And that's how it came about. I said, okay. And I went to go talk to all my family that day and my team. And at first they thought I was crazy. Mm-hmm. And how you going to do that and you do so much? Hey, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to do the best I can. And, You know, from there they all agreed on it, and they said go for it. And you know, my family, they told me even if I didn't win, I'll be the first in my family to actually run for political office, and whether win or lose, they'll still be proud of me, and that meant a lot.
That's what's up. So you had a story. You shared a story off air about you running into somebody as far as an angry voter and asking a bunch of questions. You're going to run into a lot of these particular people because there is voter apathy, and there are people that have smarter than the average bear. There are people that actually study, and there are people who are registered voters that study. How do you deal with those people on the campaign trail? Because that's what you're on,
Right.
the campaign trail. How do you deal with those people?
I mean, with that particular situation, I didn't mind the question that he asked me. It's the way that it was asked to me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. Because if you want something from someone, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know it's gonna be, like I said, let's put out on the real because I'm a realist. It's a lot of ignorance out there, a lot of people that is non-factual and don't use self-knowledge. But the way I deal with it is I listen to them. I'm already a humbling lady. So, I'm humble to it. And I keep going. And if it's something that I don't know, if someone asks me, I'm a realist. If I don't know it, I'm gonna tell you that I don't know it. But I'm gonna best believe by the next time you see me or the next time I pop up on Facebook or Instagram, I'm gonna have that fact addressed.
Okay. So another issue that's come up, transgender people. How, as mayor, if you are elected, deal with the LGBTQ community?
I mean, we all the same. We all equal. Just because somebody has made a decision within their own personal life, it's not my place to judge them. Treat them as equal as I would want to be treated equally. Mm-hmm. So I mean, dealing with especially on the west side, which is high voltage over there, which everybody knows. But I'm not a judgmental person. You are who you are, and if you feel like you want to change, that's your prerogative. I'm not judgmental at all.
Okay. So we talked about the African American men. Now, the percentage of voters who are high are African American women. The second highest is middle-aged Caucasian men. How do you bridge the gap as far as those guys who work in the city, live in the city, own homes and home property owners, not just homeowners but property owners? It might be landlords, things of that nature. How do you get them to get on your side and vote for you? What would you say to them?
I mean, again, going to ask them what's the issue? The thing across the board is, what is the issue? Why can't we move forward? That's the question with me. Why can't we move forward?
Okay.
Would you like change? Do you want to make a difference in this? Can we strategize in this? Can we negotiate in this to where everybody is, somewhat happy? I got to hear from them. I got to be a politician to where I hear from that person to get them on my side. I'm not going to give you a fairy tale dream. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If it's something that I can do to assist, then I'm going to be able to do that. But we all got to work together to get to the goal.
All right. So the thing about it is, we talked about corruption. We talked about crime on the streets.
Right.
We didn't talk about corruption. How do you avoid corruption if you are elected? Because there's a lot of people falling for that, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation doesn't play favorites if you're caught up. How do you avoid that?
Like I said in the earlier sessions, having someone actually monitor what's going on so there won't be corruption, actually making those people accountable for the corrupt actions, getting them out of office or getting them whatever off there, because we have to build the trust within our communities. If we have that, then we lose trust, and then the people are not going to trust the politicians.
But how do you stay clean?
How do I stay clean?
Yes, if you're elected.
Like I said, getting people to monitor and actually looking at the books.
Even somebody monitoring you?
Yes. Even somebody.
So you wouldn't mind somebody looking at, because you're going to have voters that are going to look in campaign contributions, where the address, if you lived in the city of Cleveland. Some of the people just because to hate or not, or to get another person that they're voting for over. So it's a dirty game, like Dr. Richard Montgomery said, want to prepare for a debate, just call and be like, let's talk politics. LOL, haha. But, the thing about it is, real talk.
I mean, I have nothing. I mean, Larry, I have nothing to hide in my background. If anybody want to ask me anything, I always say, hey, come and talk to me. Because you can't believe what somebody else says unless it's coming from that person. So, if they want to dig in the background, yes, I do live on the west side and ask a few questions. Yes, I live on the west side. Yes, I'm a Cleveland native. Yes, everything that you see is legit, and I make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed when it comes down to business and in my personal life. So go right ahead. But, like I said, for those that want to slander or what may have you, open up the book first. Okay. Ask me.
All right, because, the thing about it is like, there's a certain look that people have as far as how politicians are supposed to look. There's a certain different, you bring a certain different type of energy to this campaign, to this candidacy for mayor. And the thing about it is, when people say that you don't look a certain way, how do you respond to that?
I mean, I'm me. I'm a real person. I mean, for those people that have followed me over the years and have networked with me over the years in the community, they know that I'll never ever be a Barbara Streisand. Mm-hmm. I would feel fake myself if you see me as if my Facebook followers, Instagram followers is looking at me right now. You know what I'm saying? And go back, and just because I'm running for a particular office, I gotta dress up in a pantsuit. Now I will dress up in certain occasions and when I have to and need to, but when I'm dealing with the community and dealing with my people, I'm not gonna change the way I dress because that's not how they see me. If the people can see, I'm on radio, but for those that are on Facebook right now, my shirt says Queen of Everything because I want everybody to know I'm a queen of everything. I want my ladies to know they're queens of everything. So, I mean, I'm not going to change the way I am just because I'm running for a particular office.
Okay. So the thing about it is that you will handle that. Now, the thing about it is that how would you handle, your competition? There's, so far, we have you and a whole bunch of other people about to run. How would you handle the debate, as far as, yourself, because there's going to be a lot of debates. You're on the ballot, you're on the campaign trail, city club, things of that nature. There's going to be a lot of forums. How would you handle that?
I mean, how I would handle them, I wouldn't. I'm going to come in there with my, what I know and what I've studied and what I believe in. Okay. That's what I'm coming with. So, if they got that, same drive and same determination, then okay, let's debate. But that's what I'm coming with, drive, determination, and my knowledge.
Okay, so when will we see Lady T, Latorya with your campaign posters, flyers, things of that nature? Because there's already been a couple of people who announced their candidacies, and there are some people that have passed out their literature.
I'm always on social media, so that's one way of promotion and marketing for me. There's flyers in numerous places throughout the city. They can always come to me before April 15th, 57th in Detroit, the Jackson Hewitt. Like I said, it's more so you always see me. So there's nothing, it's not like I'm not out there with the signage or anything like that, but I'm bringing something new to the table. And I'm using, due to the fact of the COVID-19 virus, I'm using social media more as an outlet versus the in-person. But, town hall meetings start within, towards the end of the month, going into April and leading all the way up past the election. Because, like I said, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing if I win or lose. And, through the talk shows, that I have, like Talk Table with me and Lit Jaws Rusick, through the community stuff with the kids, Black History 365, that's still going on, bringing knowledge to the kids. So, I'm everywhere. I'm just silent.
Right. So, speaking of the Black Table Talk, when is the next one?
The next one will be March the 13th at 8 o'clock.
Not March, where would it be at?
Well, right at BWE headquarters.
Okay.
On the west side.
All right. So look out for that. We're going to take a break. come back, we're going to ask what the first 30, if she's elected, what the first 30 days of uh, Miss Witcher's cabinet would look like, and we got to throw somebody to the lions for real. I don't want to do it. It has to be done. So, one of my favorite artists, J. Cool. I'm gonna bring it up to shout out to J. Cool and everybody else in hip hop in the Cleveland. So I'm bringing up J. Cool right now. So we'll be right back on the Headline Eye with Larry H. Gardner, guest Lady T. Latoya Witcher, the mayoral candidate of Cleveland, on this March 3rd, 2021. We'll be right back.
Since we on break, guys, I'm about to hop on my live right quick. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching this amazing.